I'm Fabulous Gilly, the High Priest of Sports, and I want to talk NFL football, and that means I want to talk Michael Vick and Michael Vick's sweater. What can you say about Michael? An amazing comeback. The electrifying runs. He doesn't just depend on his rocket arm anymore. He sees the field better, picks out his receivers. He's a better passer than he ever was. And of course, we know the dark side of Michael. It's been said enough over the last few years. He did the crime. He paid the time. If it would have been up to me, he would have served more time than he did, but then we wouldn't be talking about Michael. So now he's playing the game. They all love him, especially in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. I don't like their hockey team neither. But Michael right now is doing it all. And now you have major companies. They're knocking on his door. They want him to be a spokesperson for their products. Endorsements, licensing deals are on the table. And that's fine. But what I want to see, if Michael is sincere, and he doesn't just say, "I'm sorry," I want him to mean it. And I know I sound like a guy who's not very forgiving. And you know what? I'm not. We all have weaknesses, even me. I know, I'm working on it. I know what the good book says. But, with all my knowledge of sports and other subjects, and I'm right most of the time, and yeah, it's hard to be humble. That is a weakness, like I said, that I'm working on. And Michael can help me with this here. So on every deal that's on the table for Michael, I'd like to see him give 30% of that money for cruelty to animals. Dogs and cats are companion animals, so they're adopted, they have homes. That's 20% goes there. And the other 10% should be to cruelty to animals around the world. Animals in laboratories, they're being tested needlessly, suffering. Greyhounds that have miserable lives, and I can keep going and going. I think you get the idea. And I don't want to hear Michael talking about, well, my environment, the way I grew up, with cockfighting, dogfighting. There's a lot of wonderful, wonderful black people in America and white people who also had tough upbringings and environments and ghettos, and they're not out there to torture or kill animals, so that just doesn't work. And I want to see Michael look eyeball to eyeball with me and say not only what I did was wrong, I want him to know and carry that for the rest of his natural days about the pain and suffering that he personally caused these animals. And my idea for Michael and Michael Vick's sweater, every time the lad comes out of that tunnel and trots out onto that football field across America, on the back of his sweater, I want him to take off that capital V and replace it with a capital P, followed by a little R. And the last 3 letters can stay the same. And that name will be on that sweater till Michael can sit across me, look me eyeball to eyeball, and I know that what he's saying is coming from his heart, and I can believe him. And you know what, Michael? We'll both be helping each other. Because, when I turn in each night, and I always like to talk to the big boss of the riders up there, and I want to be able to tell them that I'm making progress. So, if you can be honest, and you're not just doing this for fame and game and putting dollars in your pocket, we can work on this together. If you're willing, good. You don't want to meet me halfway? You're gonna burn my arse.